Hello guys and welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. First and foremost, I do just want to welcome all of the new subscribers that we've got from the last episode. I commented on Thogden's video last time and you guys were fantastic. Genuinely blew me away the amount of people that A, came over to watch the video, and B, even thought about commenting. I mean, I really appreciate that. So let's see if we can keep that up for this episode. On the topic of comments, we have got a lot of comments on the last episode, which was brilliant, which means that we've got a lot of predictions to go through. Shisha Cassetti never seems to let me down. Cherico, I think that's how you pronounce it as well. Alex Nicholson had a great week as well. However, the two that we're going to focus on this week, Dayam Alahi and Zach Clamford. Dayam, mate, you absolutely smashed it. You got 17 points. You correctly guessed the Liverpool 4-0 and the Watford win. That's insane. Zach, on the other hand, mate, you smashed it. You got 19 points. You correctly predicted the Spurs score, as well as 6 out of the 10 Premier League results of that game week. This guy's got some inside knowledge, and I'm hoping to see some more of that in the comments this time round. Now, guys, if me shouting you out wasn't enough incentive to comment down below, I have now made a leaderboard for the subscribers. I've started it from last week because, I mean, I'll be completely honest, I can't be going through all of the videos, which means that you are just going to have to keep commenting if you want to get on this leaderboard. I'm going to take the top 2 subscribers from each video and put them into this leaderboard. So at the moment, you can see Zach Clamford and Dayam are both first and second at the moment in the leaderboard. And as the weeks progress, more people will hopefully start to fill up that leaderboard until it will just be the top 10. So it'll be interesting to see how the top 10 compare to my predictions, which you can see at the top, and subsequently who is going to have the best scores by the end of the season. So make sure you guys comment down below if you want to see yourself in that subscriber leaderboard. But that is enough said about you guys. You've come here for me, obviously. So let's get into my predictions from last week and how I did. Better is the only way that I can describe it, and to be honest, we were coming off the back of my lowest scores ever. So, I mean, it had to be better. I was only a goal out on a handful of the games. I correctly predicted the Newcastle and Brentford draw. That was good. The Chelsea win as well. I don't think a lot of people would have necessarily predicted the Watford win, so I'll let myself off on that. But all in all, it was not a bad week. So I would just like to take this opportunity to say, if you are watching, if you're new, if you're not subscribed for whatever reason, please subscribe down below. It means a hell of a lot to me. I want to try and get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you guys can help me do that, I would really appreciate it. Also, I've been saying in all of my videos this month that I have put a link in the description for Movember, which is why I've got the moustache. So if you guys could check that out and donate anything you can, that would be greatly appreciated because it is a good cause. On with the video. We are starting this episode off at the Emirates with Arsenal at home to Newcastle. Since Mike Ashley left, Newcastle have had a new lease of life, and that is reflected in the fact that they scored 3 goals in their last game, a 3-3 thriller. That's a mouthful. With Brentford. That's the most that they've scored in the league this season. Arsenal, on the other hand, had a fairly disappointing outing against Liverpool in their last fixture. I watched the game down at the pub and they didn't look good. The first half they were pretty even, but that capitulation in the second half was just not what Mikel Arteta or any of those Arsenal fans in the stadium would have wanted. However, I did particularly enjoy the little bust up on the touchline with Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta. Putting that loss aside for Arsenal, however, they have looked very good since the start of the season, winning their last 3 games before facing Liverpool. And despite the fact that Newcastle have looked better, especially going forward in their last couple of games, they are still bottom of the table and struggling to pick up points. And coming up against a team like Arsenal, who are still in good form despite their last game, it's still going to be a tricky fixture for them. I think the Arsenal season is going to be a season of ups and downs, and actually I think this could potentially be a bit of a down. I'm going to go for a draw in this game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Aaron Ramsdale is a fantastic goalkeeper, which wasn't reflected in the scoreline of the last game that they played. So for that reason, I don't think that Arsenal will lose. But as I said, this new life that have just invigorated Newcastle, I think it gives them the potential to take a point in this fixture, and I think they will do exactly that, which is why I'm going for a pretty outlandish 1-1 draw. The next game that we're going to focus on is Crystal Palace at home to Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard's reign as an Aston Villa manager started with a win at home to Brighton, which is a great result considering the poor form that Aston Villa showed before that. They lost their last 5 games until Steven Gerrard managed to secure them their first win. Palace, on the other hand, as I say, week in, week out, have looked very good and managed to pick up a lot of points in games that I didn't think that they'd be able to pick up points in. Vieira has managed to assemble a really good squad for them this season, and I think they'll continue this good form into this fixture. That 3-3 draw in their last outing with Burnley, however, is one that they probably should have taken more points than they did from. Burnley are another team who have improved, but they should have really taken the 3 points in that fixture. I feel like this is going to be another entertaining game, and I think it will be another draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game because I can't quite pick out a winner between these two sides. Both sides have got a lot of attacking quality and also not the strongest defences so far this season, which is why I think there's going to be quite a few goals in this one, and also why I'm going for a 2-2 draw. The next 3 o'clock kickoff that we're going to focus on is Liverpool at home to Southampton. What a start to the season that Southampton are having, by the way. Considering their squad, they find themselves in 13th place, losing only one in their last 5 games, which was their last game against Norwich. That's not quite the preparation for such a big match against a team that have just wiped out top 4 contenders Arsenal. And Liverpool, by the way, as previously mentioned, didn't just beat them, they absolutely walloped Arsenal in that game. They were outstanding in the second half. Liverpool's only real vice this season has been drawing games that they should have really been winning. The draws with Brighton and 10-man Chelsea are 2 games that I think they should have really been taking the 3 points, and they should have done better with those results. However, it's a long season. You're going to get little blips along the way, no matter how good you are, but they're certainly going to want to avoid another one in this fixture. I think they will. I think they're going to be very, very dominant in this game, and I'm going to go for a 4-1 win. I was tempted to go for a 4-0 win, but I do think that Southampton might catch them on an off day at the back. I think when you've got the likes of Che Adams or Adam Armstrong, who could potentially get in behind Liverpool's defence and cause them problems. Carrow Road is where we're going next to focus on Norwich at home to Wolves. Wolves are a team in very good form at the moment, countering their poor start to the season. Jimenez has found his scoring touch again, and the team in general seems to be performing a lot better than they were at the start of the season. Norwich, on the other hand, again, are very difficult now to predict because they are by far one of the poorest sides that I have seen in the Premier League since watching it. However, they have won their last 2 games 2-1 against Brentford and Southampton, which are 2 teams that should really have been beating them. And to be fair, most teams that you see come up against Norwich, you would probably expect them to take the 3 points. As I said, this game is very difficult to call now with Norwich's last 2 results. However, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet, and I do think that Wolves are going to be able to break the curse of Norwich at the moment, and I think that they're going to win this one fairly comfortably. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Wolves. As I said, everything seems to be ticking along for them very well at the moment, and I do think they're going to continue that form into this game despite the 2 wins that Norwich have picked up in their last couple of games. The late kickoff on Saturday is a game between 2 teams who find themselves in a bit of a rut at this point of the season. Leeds still haven't managed to get their season properly underway. Patrick Bamford has resumed training, and he could potentially be fit to start this match, and boy do they need him, because Dan James and Jack Harrison played very well against Spurs in the last fixture, but they're still missing that clinical finisher, and Bamford will provide them exactly that. Brighton, on the other hand, had a great start to the season, and they're still not doing badly, you know. They still picked up that draw against Liverpool, but in their last 5 games, they haven't won. They've drawn 3 and lost 2, including that last game where they lost against Aston Villa. This is a match that will potentially get either team's season back on track and get them up the table where each respective side want to be. I'm half tempted to go for a draw in this game because I'm finding it hard to pick a winner, but I do think that there will be a team that slightly edges it, and I'm going to go for Leeds. If Patrick Bamford starts, which I think he will, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Leeds. Moving into the first of 5 Sunday games, which is more than usual. Next, we're going to be focusing on a mid-table battle between Brentford and Everton. 2 sides who find themselves again in a bit of a rut and are not performing as well as they should be. Brentford have failed to win in their last 5 games, while Everton have failed to win in their last 6. A record that both of these teams are going to want to be trying to quash in this fixture. Everton are very unlucky because they've picked up a lot of injuries, the likes of Calvert-Lewin, Decore, who I speak about every week. And the reason why is because it really does affect them. They're 2 of their biggest players. As a result of this, I think that Brentford could potentially be looking at taking the 3 points in this game. Don't get me wrong, Everton have got a lot of quality in their side, but they're just not showing anything with it. The thrashing that Everton faced against Man City in their last game is not going to help them. And I do think that Brentford are going to take the 3 points with the ruthless attack that they've got. I don't think it's going to be huge, but I do think it is going to be comfortable for Brentford, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Brentford in this fixture. The next 2 o'clock kickoff that we're going to focus on is at Turf Moor. It's Burnley at home to Tottenham. Since Antonio Conte has taken over Tottenham, Spurs look very good. They look more hungry going forward and more like they're able to see out a win, as they did so against Leeds. After going 1-0 down and looking very shaky throughout the start of the match, Conte managed to lead Spurs to a 2-1 win, holding out that lead well throughout the rest of the game in a game where they were under a lot of pressure. Burnley, on the other hand, after a poor start to the season like a lot of other teams, they have started to turn it on a bit, picking up draws against Chelsea and Crystal Palace in their last 2 games. And I think that draw against Crystal Palace for me was more impressive because not only did they show that they were able to get a draw against a top quality side in Crystal Palace, what stood out for me was the amount of goals that they were able to score. 3 goals. Okay, they conceded 3 goals as well, but you don't normally see that kind of attacking intent from Burnley. Realistically, they're going to need to attack if they want to stay up, because I don't think that this defensive football is going to be able to work for much longer because of the lack of quality in the squad. And Maxwell Cornet, I think, represents that shift in attitude that Burnley are putting in this season. In Cornet's first 7 games in the Premier League, he scored 5 goals, which is extremely impressive, and could be a significant worry for Tottenham in this game with the absence of Romano. With that being said, however, I don't think that the absence of Romano is going to be enough to stop Tottenham getting the win. They've got too much quality in this side to not win this game, especially against a weaker side like Burnley, with all due respect. For that reason and that reason alone, I do think that Tottenham are going to win this game 3-1. When you've got the likes of Son, Lucas Moura, or a Harry Kane. These are all world-class attacking players who should really be running riot against Burnley. However, it's still going to take time for Antonio Conte's system to fully take over this Tottenham side, hence why I think that they are going to concede, but they should be winning this game fairly comfortably. Right guys, I do just want to take a quick moment again to say, if you have got this far into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, if you like, because it really helps me out in terms of pushing my video out, and it also helps me try and get closer to reaching my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I've looked at the schedule for the Premier League coming up over Christmas, and I'm going to be extremely busy, so it would mean a lot to me now if you could thank me in advance, you know? And also make sure to comment down below so you can potentially get your name in that subscriber leaderboard. All you have to do is comment your predictions for the weekend. I will top up your scores and the top 2 will go into the leaderboard. And who knows, if you smash it this week, you might be there for the rest of the year, which would be cool because then you can show your mum, then you can show your dad, and they will think this is less shit than when you told me you just got a shout out. You're on a leaderboard. This is impressive. So make sure, guys, you like, subscribe, and comment down below. Back to the video. The next 2 o'clock fixture that we're going to focus on is Leicester at home to Watford. And Watford are a team that I hate predicting at the moment because they'll go and lose 2 games against bottom half teams and then go and blow away Manchester United 4-1. It's very hard to predict how they're going to do this season. Leicester, on the other hand, are a bit of a similar ilk in a way because they are not playing well compared to how they should be playing. They're 12th in the league at the moment, and for a team that have qualified for the Europa League for the past 2 seasons, this is not where they want to be at this stage of the season. With that being said, however, a bit like Watford, they are able to just spring a great result here and there. Unable to do so in their last 3 games, losing against Chelsea, Arsenal, and drawing against Leeds. I keep on saying that with Watford, I do think that they will struggle to stay up. However, performances like the one in their last game against Manchester United makes me think that maybe they could stay up. The cycling GK could once again play Premier League football. An impressive stat about Ben Foster, by the way, if you didn't know, he has made the most saves in Premier League history. However, he has also conceded the most. So you win some, you lose some. Focusing back on this fixture though, I am going to keep this one relatively short and sweet. I think that Jamie Vardy, Harvey Barnes, these players are starting to tick a little bit better. What I'm trying to say is Leicester have got attacking options. And okay, Watford can on their day be very good defensively. I think they are going to struggle against this Leicester side. But do you know what? I'm backing Watford to an extent. I think that they are going to draw this game. I think it's going to be relatively entertaining. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this fixture. It might be unpopular, but these 2 sides are just so similar in terms of turning up on their day whenever they feel like it that I just can't pick a winner between these 2 sides. So for that reason, I'm going to go for a draw. You watch. Watford are going to smash them 5-0 again. But that is the beauty of the Premier League. Moving on to the Etihad now, we have got the last of the 2 o'clock kickoffs. It's Manchester City at home to West Ham United. 2nd against 4th. I don't know who could have predicted that we'd be saying that at this stage of the season. The West Ham find themselves in 4th place after 12 games. It's genuinely so impressive. Despite their fine start to the season, they did lose 1-0 against Wolverhampton, and they didn't look good in that game. Wolves were the better side and definitely deserved to win, which is a little bit worrying as a bit of a warm-up game for the Manchester City game, which will be one of their biggest games this season. If they can pick up points against Manchester City, then this will really stake a claim for them potentially getting Champions League football. That would be incredible, but the way that West Ham are going at the moment, you wouldn't put it past them, honestly. Manchester City, though, are just a team in such fine form at the moment, winning 4 out of their last 5 games, only losing to Crystal Palace in that one-off fluke. However, this could be another fluke. You never know with the Premier League this season. Again, that's why it's so hard to predict. I am regrettably going to back Man City, though. I'd love it if West Ham managed to pick up some points in this game from a Chelsea fan's perspective, but also because I don't mind West Ham. I quite like them. I'd rather West Ham win this fixture than Man City, let's put it that way. But unfortunately, I do think that Manchester City are going to take the 3 points, and I think it is going to be fairly comfortable. So for that reason, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Manchester City. They could very easily not concede because they are very good at dominating games. However, West Ham, as I say, they're in good form. They've got great attacking options that have proven themselves so far this season, which is why I think that they could potentially score, and that's why I'm backing them to score. The biggest game of the Premier League game week is Chelsea at home to Manchester United. This is a huge fixture. Manchester United obviously sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is probably the right decision. Don't get me wrong, he's done a fantastic job for Manchester United, and it's sad to see him go because he's a nice guy. However, this isn't a business for nice guys. This is a business for winners, ruthless winners at that, and Thomas Tuchel has proven himself to be one of those. Chelsea absolutely smashed it in the Champions League midweek, blowing away Juventus 4-0, which is an incredible result. Chelsea's still unbeaten since that loss against Manchester City, just picking up points left, right and centre, winning 4 out of their last 5 games. Manchester United, on the other hand, have only won 1 in their last 5, which is just totally unacceptable by their standards. They did look good in Europe though when they beat Villarreal 2-0. Do I think that they're going to carry this form into this fixture? Unfortunately not, and obviously there's going to be a bit of bias, but level-headed wise, is Manchester United are without a manager. They don't have Harry Maguire. Okay, Harry Maguire gets a lot of stick, but I think he's so much better than a lot of the flack that he's getting online. And ultimately, with the fine form that Chelsea are in at the moment, we should be winning this one so comfortably. So for that reason, I'm going to back Chelsea to win this one very comfortably again. I don't even think Manchester United has scored. There's always a potential when Ronaldo's playing though. But I do think that we are going to win this one 3-0 with the potential of it being 3-1. But I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm going to say 3-0 to Chelsea in this fixture. Right guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. As I said earlier in the video, if you could please like, subscribe and comment down below your score predictions for the weekend. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much again to everyone who came over from Thogden's video. Your comments were fantastic. I honestly just expected to get called a nonce in the comments for begging on Thogden's channel, but I seriously appreciate it guys, so thank you so very much. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.